Hey, what's up, good people? I'm QC. Welcome back to this special edition of Talkin and Grubbin. I'm back with more of my top 10 GOAT Super Bowl champions. At number 6, I have the 2016 New England Patriots. The Patriots came into the 2016 season seeking their 5th Super Bowl title in franchise history after coming off of a close loss to the Denver Broncos in the AFC Championship game the previous year. They had Bill Belichick as the head coach, Tom Brady as the QB. They had great offensive weapons in Julian Edelman, running back James White, and the Patriots were ready to go for redemption. So they hit the 2016 season off and running. They started with a 3-0 record. Then, after suffering a shutout loss to their AFC East rival Buffalo Bills, they went on a tear, winning 4 straight heading into the bye week. After coming off of a loss to the Seattle Seahawks following the bye week, the Patriots won 7 straight, finished with a 14-2 record, another AFC East title, and the number 1 seed in the AFC. Now, the Patriots, they definitely have had one of the best offenses in the NFL. They were top 10 in every offensive category, They were first in offense, averaging 405 yards per game. They were first in passing, averaging 292 passing yards per game. But they were 15th in rushing, averaging 113 rushing yards per game. They were 3rd in passing touchdowns with 32 passing TDs, which came out to 2.1 TDs per game. They were 6th in rushing TDs with 16 touchdowns. That came out to 1.1 rushing TDs per game. And they were 3rd in points, which they averaged 27.6 points per game. Now, their defense left little to be desired. They were 30th in total defense as they gave up 370 yards per game. They were 31st against the pass. They gave up 256 passing yards per game. They were 20th against the run as they gave up 114 rushing yards per game, but they were 7th in points allowed, holding opponents to 19.5 points per game. They were 9th in sacks, which they finished with 42 sacks that equaled out to 2.8 sacks per game, and they were 30th in takeaways with only 18 of them. Now, the Patriots, they were definitely ready to roll in the playoffs, looking for the redemption and finally getting that 5th Super Bowl title. And they dominated in the divisional round against the Houston Texans as they won 34-16. Then in the AFC Championship game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, they dominated by winning 36-17. And they were back in the Super Bowl at Super Bowl 51 against the Atlanta Falcons. And they just needed to win one more game to capture that 5th Super Bowl title. But at first, it didn't look likely because the Falcons, they came out on fire. They were up by as much as 28-3. But Tom Brady is Tom Brady. He is still that dude. He was still that dude. He's one of the greats. And he mustered a hell of a second half. In the 4th quarter, the Patriots scored 19 unanswered points to tie the game and to force overtime. That was the first Super Bowl to ever go into overtime. And on the coin toss, the Patriots won. You know what happened. Yep, they decided to receive. And you definitely don't want an offense led by Tom Brady to receive the ball because as long as Tom Brady is at center, you know what he can do. And he did what he ended up doing. He engineered one great drive at the start of overtime that culminated into James White's rushing TD as the Patriots came back and knocked off the Atlanta Falcons 34-28 in overtime to win their 5th Super Bowl in franchise history. Excuse me. Tom Brady was named Super Bowl MVP, rightfully so, as he had a monster game. He ended up with 466 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception, and a 95.2 QBR rating. James White, he had a monster game receiving and rushing, as he had 110 receiving yards, 1 touchdown, but he also had 29 rushing yards and 2 rushing TDs, including the game-winning touchdown in overtime. Danny Amendola, he balled out. He had 78 yards and a touchdown. Also, Julian Edelman chipped in with 87 receiving yards. The Patriots, they did something historic in this Super Bowl. Of course, this was the first Super Bowl to go into overtime. Also, this was the largest comeback by a winning team in the Super Bowl, as the Patriots rallied from a 25-point deficit to win the Super Bowl. Now, I picked the 2016 Patriots because this team, they were just firing on all cylinders. Also, they did something very historic in the Super Bowl, not only forcing overtime, but also coming back from the largest deficit. And to me, this was Tom Brady's masterpiece. Yes, I know he had already won 4, but this was his masterpiece. He had to engineer a comeback where he was down by multiple scores, and he did it. No matter what, the Atlanta defense tried to run in that second half, Tom Brady would not be denied. He was finding every receiver he could. Also, the offensive coordinator, they were just coming up with the right plays at the right time. Plus, James White definitely had a monster game. He definitely should have gotten more credit, because he was definitely a factor in that comeback with the 3 touchdowns he had. Plus, also, this definitely proved that you could never count out Tom Brady or the Patriots. And they proved to be the dynasty that they were, And also, excuse me again. Sorry for the little cough fit. And also, this definitely elevated the Patriots up there with the Steelers and the Cowboys at that time for most Super Bowl titles. Also, this was Tom Brady's 4th Super Bowl MVP, rightfully so. Should have been unanimous. I hope it was, but if it wasn't, it should have been. And this was the greatest Super Bowl title out of all the Super Bowl titles the Patriots had won during their reign. All right, that's 5 down, 5 more to go. What do you think about the 2016 Patriots? Do you think they should be on this list, or should I have picked another team? Or why do you think they should be on the list? Why shouldn't they be on the list? Leave your comments in the comments section. Till next time, y'all have a good one. Love y'all to life. Salute.